what if I tell you that you can multiply your money inflow right now? What if I tell you that you are literally sitting on gold mine? Welcome to the Power Up Your Prosperity workshop. I love talking about money and wealth because not only money serves the money area of your life, but it really enhances every single area of your life. And in this session, in this workshop, you will understand exactly how. So that by the end of the workshop, not only will you be aware of your limitations, which are stopping you from having all the wealth in the world, which so many out there do have, and also what are the consequences of holding on to the limitations that you're holding on. Third, what money reality do you want for yourself and why? When you get clear of that, we will do subconscious rewiring, subconscious shifting so that deep down in your system, in every cell of your body, you're like, yo, money is normal for me. When money stops becoming a stress giver or a worry topic, and it's like, of course, it's like breathing, right? It's like going out for a walk. When it becomes that normal, money comes in your life. Now, that state is a byproduct of something else. That state is a byproduct of you owning who you truly are, what your strengths are, what your talents are, and how can you use that for somebody else's benefit who will pay you money. Literally, money is as simple as that. Someone giving you money for some value that they're getting in return. Now, a lot of times we think that I need to go out there, learn more to get to a point where I can, get money as an exchange with somebody else. Nothing wrong with that. But that's a very, very limited way of thinking about money, of seeing your money reality. It's like in future. And even if you think that I am in college right now, let's say, or I am in an organization right now, when I pass my college, I will get more money. When I get a promotion, I will get more money. Nothing wrong with that. But what if I tell you that you can multiply your money inflow right now? What if I tell you that you are literally sitting on gold mine? Actually, you are the gold mine, right? So this is what you're going to receive in the entire workshop. We're going to do an incredible visualization, which you can keep listening to again and again to rewire your subconscious. And by the end of the workshop, you will also feel elated in general. You will feel like, oh, I can also achieve my health goals. I can also be happy just generally. I can also be more present in my relationships because when you grow in one area of your life, you grow in totality because everything is connected and money is a superpower. How? When you really enhance and empower the money area of your life, everything shifts, everything. And I'll give you examples as we go ahead. So we're going to do 4 exercises which are super powerful. Now, you may on and off think that, oh, but this is simple. No. Yeah. And hence it works. Because if I have been in this industry or in the space of self development, healing, inner growth, money, law of attraction, manifestation since 12 years, I have flown from Delhi to Germany to do these workshops. I have been in so many places, paid so many people, gotten into so many organizations, only to realize way later in my journey that it is very simple and simple things work. Only and only and only when you truly get it and you practice it consistently. I used to be in a place where even thinking of earning $1, 70 rupees, 80 rupees used to be like the most mind boggling thing. In fact, I'm a chartered accountant, by the way. Chartered accountants are meant to earn a lot of money, but my subconscious was just trained to believe that scarcity is my only normal. So much so that I went to my chartered accountant father and I told him that, you know what? I don't think I can earn money. Hence, what I want to do is I just want to get into the flow of earning money. So the idea that I came up with was I'm going to put a lemonade stand in Connaught Place in Delhi, which is like the hub of corporate, a lot of offices and stuff. I'm going to put a lemonade stand there. Now imagine a chartered accountant who went to US to study masters, who produced and hosted her own talk show, would say that I'm going to sell lemonade. Even then, my own mind convinced me that nobody will buy that lemonade from me. A 20 rupees lemonade, nobody will buy it from me. That was the level of scarcity mindset I had. Cut to now. Each client pays me $10,000 to $12,000. And it this shift might seem way too big. Well, in a way, it is. It is quite dramatic, it is quite drastic, but it really is not, because it all boils down to these four things that we will practice today. How I started facing my limitations head on, how I started questioning these assumptions, how I started picking up on new beliefs, and how I understood what my money reality is and what I want it to be. What will I do with money in the first place, right? I just love the flow of money in my life, in everybody's life, because I know that not only we can fulfill our adult dreams of what we dream as adults, but also what we dreamt of as kids. It's such a healing experience to be wealthy. You can give yourself anything you want. Why? Because now you have the resources to do that. So money work also requires healing, and we will get into that later. So first, let's begin. Whether you are somebody who is not earning anything and is super stuck at zero, this is for you. Somebody who is earning their desired money but they are stuck at that level, this is for you. Somebody who earns a lot of money but then also spends a lot of money, like in the end nothing is left for you, this is for you. And somebody who is just like awesomely rolling in money, this is also for you, because there's no limitation, right? Now, before we begin, I want to put this analogy in your mind. I want you to go outside after this workshop, or even now, if you have a view like mine where there's only greenery all around. Look at a tree, and then imagine if you went to the tree and said, okay, now you have 5 branches and 500 leaves. You cannot grow more branches. You cannot grow more leaves. You definitely cannot grow more flowers. What would be the response of the tree? The tree will be like, keep this human shit to yourself. I am part of nature. I'm part of this universe. I'm meant to evolve, which includes growing more, which also includes shedding something, right? That's part of the process. Now, I want you to apply the same mentality on your money. What if it is as simple as a tree growing into branches, roots, flowers, leaves, fruits, etc.? What if your money reality, what if earning money, spending money, investing money, money making more money, all of that is just that? And the more you connect these two scenarios together again and again and again and again till a point that it becomes one, boom, you've rewired your subconscious. Cool. Okay, great. Awesome. We're now going to get into exercise number 1, which is get super clear and super naked about your money limitations. Now, I cringe so hard when I see these videos, reels and YouTube videos and workshops in which people just straight away start with affirmations. Now, imagine if internally you are so convinced that you cannot earn money, you're not worthy of it, money is only reserved for a few, you're not talented enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not confident enough. Imagine like your entire body is synced to that. And then you attend a workshop or you whatever read something online like affirmations are good, positivity is good, and then you start writing, I am wealthy, I am healthy, da 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 da. Will it work, or will it increase the gap between you and what you want? Oh my God, the number of times I have gotten stuck in this trap. In fact, it gets worse. Your anxiety for money grows even more, because then you start realizing how far you are from your goal and how long it has been that you've been so far with your goal, right? So, what you will do is you will pause the video and you're going to write down all the limitations you have with respect to money. Now, sometimes people don't have that level of awareness to even know what my limitations are. Sometimes people say that, no, no, I don't have any limitations. I just need this, and this, these pieces of the process to be check marked, then I'll have my money. I always ask them, since when are you waiting for these three pieces to be check marked? They're like, no, it's been a while, but I'm just there. So your limitation here could be that only these three pieces can get me money. Only this particular investor can give me money because I'm already in talks. Only this income stream, this product that I'm building or I've built and I've put out in the market can give me money. Only father can give me money. My clients do give me money, but they can only pay me 1,000 rupees a session, $10 a session. Now, is this really a limitation, Yuvika? Good question. Ask yourself, is this point of view enabling your wealth reality, keeping you stuck there, or degrading you? I never started my coaching journey by charging 1,000 rupees a session. And I see so many coaches being in this industry since forever, still stuck at 1,000 rupees and 2,000 rupees. Why? I live in nature. I have reptiles all around, hence I got a little distracted. But I want you to get really naked and really real with your limitations. And you're doing this work with yourself. Nobody is going to come and read what you've written, right? So the more you are able to get aware, the more you're able to do something about it. If you're not aware of it, you cannot move it. You cannot shift it because it still remains in your system somewhere, right? Now, my most prominent limiting beliefs were that I don't think I have what it takes to make more money. I don't think I have the confidence to make more money. I don't think being a woman in business, I can make enough money. I can make like little bit, not enough money. I don't think I'm great at one particular thing to be able to make that level of money. I don't think I am even cut out for it because if this is a very popular one, if I have to make a big sum of money, I have to put in even bigger time into it. That's the biggest misconception that is out there. In fact, if you mindfully create your money reality, you will be able to earn way more, multifolds of what you're earning right now by doing even lesser work. That does not mean that you will limit the impact that you're creating in the world. In fact, the impact that you're creating in the world will enhance even more because money is equal to impact. Money is equal to the value you're delivering to someone, right? So I hope you got some good, juicy context on what your money limitations are. I want you to pause this video and get into writing down the limitations that you have for money, wealth, investments, anything related, finances, anything related to money. And I want you to write down at least 15 and don't try to suppress the emotions that come up. Let them come up because this is the exact place where you need to be for the money, for your money reality to transform. Cool? Awesome. Welcome back. Now, how do you feel? We're going to poke you just a little bit because, again, the more you're aware, the more you can do something about it. Now, I want you to look at each limitation that you've listed down. With each limitation, ask yourself a question. What is the consequence of having this limiting belief? For example, if I go back many years back, limiting belief that I had was being a woman in business, I can't earn like that much money. What is the consequence of that? The consequence of that was that I would fumble when I would do a sales call with a group of men because I was doing a lot of sales calls for my talk show. It was mostly men coming up in the calls. And I would feel like I have to try to look more than what I am to come close to their level. That means that I already had a belief in my head that I am lesser than the men. Now imagine getting on a sales call when you're on the other end, you're the buyer, and you perceive this energy from the other person that they're already thinking that they're lesser than you. Would you really buy from them? No wonder I did not make any sales. I did make some sales, but I didn't really finalize the money. So the point being, the consequence of that was I would feel lesser than the men, right? So hence the kind of people I would really feel great selling to were extremely limited. So I had already killed most of the possibilities in that situation, right? So I want you to list down all the consequences of having this limiting belief. Now understand that let your emotions come up. Don't try to suppress them, because this is the space where you can do that, right? Imagine you have a very strict father who's always asking you, um, what money did you earn this month? At that time you would put up the suit of giving the right answers. You can't be like, oh, I'll just let my true emotions to come up so that my father can hold space for me. That is possible, but if that's not the scenario for you, use this space, because we know how to process those emotions, right? So use this space and let your real emotions come up. It could be agitation, frustration, anger, wounded self coming up, feeling lost, feeling helpless, anything that is, let it come up. Welcome back. So, how are you feeling? Write down in the chat, in the comments. Now we're going to soothe you a little bit. Okay, we're not going to poke you anymore. So, this step is so freaking powerful. Just this can change a lot for you. What if I told you that these point of views that you have are only point of views? They're not universal truths, because they're not. Is there a universal truth that is running in your head about your money? We're going to see that. Okay. We're going to question that. So now I want you to imagine that you are an advocate, a lawyer, and you're running a case against these limiting point of views, these limiting beliefs. So you're proving that they are untrue. Okay. So now you're no more in your current state, which is consumed by the limiting beliefs. You've stepped out. Okay. So you can imagine yourself wearing the lawyer clothes or whatever comes to your imagination. Okay. Your imagination is your imagination. It's like a role play we're doing. And you are, um, convincing the audience or the judge against your limiting beliefs. How do you do that? You call out for the false assumptions that are in place. Okay, for example, if I ask you that my limiting belief was that because I'm a woman, I cannot make enough money in the market. I want you to write down in the comments what are false assumptions do you think there are in this particular case. Okay, what's coming to my mind is, first of all, the most obvious false assumption is that women are less than men, is that men perceive women as less. Also, in fact, I want to put this here, all men perceive all women as less. That's the false assumption, because there could be people who think that men are above women. Could be. We're not getting into the specific sector because we're not selling to a very specific sector right now. Okay, it's just the false assumptions that are in place that we are questioning. Okay, so the false assumption is that being a woman even matters. What if it doesn't matter? But here the false assumption is that being a woman apparently matters. So apparently there's a distinction between being a woman and being a man in the thing that I was selling. There's also an assumption that being a woman does not have an advantage. What if being a woman in that particular situation where I was selling my talk show was an advantage? But I couldn't see that. I couldn't see that because I was so sold on to this false assumption, right? So you get the point. I want you to question all your, I want you to act like a lawyer and tell the judge, okay, so the false assumption here is that, okay, let's take another example. I don't think my clients will pay me raised fee. Okay, if I increase my fee, if I increase my charges, I don't think my current clients will pay me. In fact, they will go away. Okay. By the way, I went from charging $300 to a client to $10,000, $12,000 a client. Literally went from that to that within like a month or so. Okay. So this is coming from experience. Let's say that is your limiting belief. What is your false assumption that you are mentioning to the judge? Now, one false assumption is that you have to sell to your current clients. Only and only your current clients will pay to you. Another false assumption is that your current clients will not value your service when you increase the price. Maybe, maybe not. But if that's an assumption already in place, your outlook is super limited already. Okay. Your false assumption is that um, you won't attract really qualified clients if you raise your prices. What if you do attract really qualified clients if you raise your prices? Oh my God, the kind of clients I work with now, boom, phenomenal. You know, also because when they are investing that amount in their program, they are so committed to getting the result that they want. And as a coach, I have a fabulous experience working with them versus working with people who are not investing as much, but they're also investing in their dream only to that extent, right? Again, nothing wrong with that. It's not that they won't get their results. It's just that the kind of clients I started attracting after raising my charges, working one on one with people, the kind of clientele that I got like completely changed. So you get the point, right? Okay. So go back to your journal and write down what are the false assumptions here. But remember, you're not acting as your current self. You're acting as a lawyer who is speaking against these limiting beliefs. Welcome back. So, how was your experience? Did you feel like the solidity in the limitations in the limiting belief system is loosening just a little bit? Or maybe for some people, it's completely gone because that's the level of presence that they have right now. For some people, it's not moved at all, which is absolutely fine. You know, your journey is your journey and it is the right journey. Okay. Now, you're gonna still continue with the role playing, but now you're a lawyer who is convincing the judge that why you're supposed to earn your desired level of income, wealth, whatever your criteria is. Let's say you're like, oh, I want an abundant life. That's what you're contesting for. Okay. You're convincing the lawyer for. You want $1 million, 10 lakh rupees, you want 5 properties, you want a yacht, whatever that is. Now you're convincing the judge that, you know what, my client is supposed to have this. Okay. Now, if your subconscious is super, drowned in the scarcity mindset, it may feel like a stretch, it may feel fake. That's absolutely fine. It is natural. And we're not even going to question it or resist it. It is meant to be that way because it has been fed all those limiting point of views so many times that it became ingrained. How can we just overnight expect the ingrained belief system to be uprooted all of a sudden? Now, for some people, it is possible just because they're in a state like that. You know, what if they've been putting in the work for so long that they're ready to transform like that? I have transformed like that so many times, but I've also taken a lot of time to let new belief system to be ingrained, right? So How will you convince the judge that you're supposed to have this? I like the how I winged when I'm talking about you are supposed to have money, because you are. And money has this fun, playful energy. If you're not feeling it yet, you will. So let the joy come up, let the playfulness, let the childlike energy, how we used to be so excited and like all visionary and imaginative we used to be. I want you to bring that energy up and be like, yo, judge, my client is supposed to have shitloads of money. And here is why. So I'm going to give you three pillars that you can use to come up with your argument, okay, in favor of why you're supposed to have money. One is you're going to list down all the strengths, okay? Strengths. Number two, you're going to list down all the experience that you have had so far. And number three, all the talents and skills that you have, okay? Now, some things may overlap in all three, that is fine. But these are the three guiding lights that I'm giving you. Now, for example, you went through a very bad time in life and then you outgrew out of it. You became this person who is strong, who is smart now because you have figured stuff out, which was difficult. So now this is your strength. Okay. I'm a chartered accountant and I've failed so many times. Now, because of that failing again and again and again, I literally studied for 2 years only to keep failing in the same exam. Like the finals, they're very difficult. Okay. I'm not undervaluing, I'm not underplaying anymore. My team tells me that, yo, why don't you mention your stuff in the videos? I'm like, oh, it doesn't cross my head. Okay. So, because of failing, showing up at the library the next very day, failing, showing up, failing, showing up. What happened was my relationship with failure got really awesome. I'm like, it's just another happening. Just like when you pass, it's another happening. Happening. Now that's my strength. I if I'm fearful of something, it has to be too big for it to make me scared. And if I am being scared of something, then it takes me very less time to process that. Okay. So that is my strength. I'll put that in the strength section. Now you're like, oh, but then this is a negative thing. It's not a negative thing. It was a negative thing and you outgrew out of it. Okay. Now let's say you're in tax department, but at the same time, you're very good at speaking. If you have been ignoring this skill of yours, please list it down right now. And you'll be like, but Yuvika, it's not connected to my work. If I need a promotion in my tax job, I need to be really good at my tax job. Speaking has nothing to do with it. Boom. Nope. It has everything to do with it. You're a person in your entirety. Okay. Which comes with being great at your speaking skills, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Right. But it only comes in play only when you have taken ownership of it. All right. So you're going to write even those things which are unrelated. I would take it a step further. You're even going to write things which you think were relevant or active earlier in your life. So let's say if you were a very imaginative child, you used to, like, I used to be this seriously obsessed with imagination kid. I used to write down plays for TV ads, and I used to lie to my grandmother that we have gotten homework from school, that you have to write it down, you have to enact it. And she used to sit through me role playing a TV ad, which wasn't even a homework. And I used to pray, God, please, please, please make this a real homework. I'm so excited to do this in school. I used to do extra stuff and take it to school and show it to my teacher. See, I did that. And she was like, it's not even part of the curriculum. Why are you doing this? Right. I want you to bring up all those moments, whether it is from today, 5 years back, 50 years back. It doesn't matter. I want you to write it down. Why? Because we are now building up the asset side of your balance sheet. Now, being a CA, I have to give references. This is how my mind perceives. Or I would say you're building up the inventory. You already have that. The thing is that you already have that. You just hadn't owned it up. If you haven't owned something up, how will you even offer it to someone? I'll give you an example. I was big on recruiting last year. I was constantly just like scanning through like hundreds of resumes, and like I had to get a team in place. And I was in London. I had missed my train. And another person who was also running towards the train, he missed it. And we started speaking. We got on another train. We had 20 minutes before his stop came. And then he told me how much he's paying his team in UK or somewhere. And I was like, I am paying this much in India. Why don't you hire in India? So he was like, where can I hire them from? So I told him a few platforms. And then when I reach back to India, when I'm done with my travel, he sent me this message that, hey, I want to do a contract with you so you can hire people for me. That's something that I don't do. He saw value in that. He saw value in something I know that he wants to know, but he does not want to spend time doing that because he knows the value of time. He will have to spend way more time in doing something that I can give him right away in exchange of money. Now, apparently, recruiting people from India was a huge value to somebody from UK who was paying way more to his team from wherever. Okay. So, point being that nothing is of no value, which means everything is of value. The more you are owning it, the more it is energetically and literally available out in the world to be sold, to be bought, to be offered, right? So go ahead and fill up your list. Go crazy with the list. Write as much as you can, and don't resume the video until you've written at least 30 things. And I'm not even exaggerating. When you really get into the field, you will be able to write 30 things very, very, very easily. And so that I don't forget by the end of the video, I'll give you one inner work right now. Do this particular exercise for the next 10 days. And then after 10 days, let me know in this comment section or in the WhatsApp community, which is free, open to all. Let me know there what changed for you. And it is definitely drastically going to change your reality. Welcome back. How do you feel? So, what if I told you that a lot of times people say that they want money? And when I ask them, why do you really want more money? They're clueless. And I've been there many times. Isn't it absurd? Like a parrot, we're constantly saying, I want more money, I want more money, I want more money, I want. But then we don't even know why. What is the purpose? And the only thing that our mind can sometimes envision is to pay bills. So then I'm like, what are your bills? And are you falling short of them? A lot of them say no. Some of them say, yeah, I'm falling short of them. How much more do you want? $500, maximum $1,000, $2,000. So you are running after money just to pay your bills? No, I want more. Okay, then what is that? So I want you to go inward in a complete expansive state. Connect with your heart and ask yourself, if I had all the money in the world, what would I do with it? If I had all the money in the world, what is the purpose of my money? How is money enriching my life? What would change if I had all the money in the world? Okay, I've given you 4 deep questions, very open ended, and allow your intuition to guide you. Allow your inner voice to be like, finally, you asked a question, and now I have the space to give you those answers. I'll give you an example. What clarity I got with respect to the purpose of my money. Before that, when I had started working on my money mindset, all I cared about, all I cared about was how can I make enough money, earn enough money so that I don't have to pay rent for a few years, so that I don't have to work. That comes from a very exhausted and wounded state. A lot of entrepreneurs, they message me saying that can I earn more money without taking any actions? So I asked them that, why don't you want to take actions? It's because the way they were earning money required their soul to be sucked out of their system, for all the joy to be sucked out of their system, right? We'll get into that. That how do you want to your money to come to you? We'll get into that in a second. But before that, yeah. So for me, all I wanted the money for was rent. How much was the rent? 25,000 rupees. How much is that? Like less than what? Three hundred, $400. That's it. That's all I wanted. And I could not imagine anything beyond that. What is beyond that? What are my requirements beyond the rent, right? Now, I'm not saying that you are also in the same stage. Okay. You could have a family, you could have kids, you could have parents who are dependent on you financially. Now it doesn't make a difference. Like, it's not different. You, if you're only imagining of the expenses for yourself and your family or relatives, then you're still in the expense zone. You're only thinking of the expenses. What's the energy of expenses? Are you really going out in the world and dancing and be like, I paid my rent and that's it, period? Are you really doing that? I'm not saying that it can't be joyous. It can be. But is that it for you? If yes, boom, you can end the video now. The workshop is complete for you. If not, then let me tell you something. Life is so expansive. It does not end. It does not end at a point. And the feeling of expansion, monetarily and any other way, it's extremely joyous. It's the true thrill of being alive, which is being more, asking for more. And now there's a lot of misconception in the spiritual world, like more is like, oh, attachment to money or not being present, blah, 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 blah. That's far from true. And to prove that right, you can again go back to your tree where we began and ask the tree, is growing more and more leaves, is that putting you out of consciousness? Tree will be like, what the fuck is wrong with this human being? Let me grow in peace. It's natural to me. I'm meant to evolve. The same way you're meant to evolve effortlessly, in a way that you feel like, I am more alive today. There's more scope to be alive today. There's more scope to feeling alive. Mm, 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 mm. I'm so happy I'm out of that scarcity mindset. I'm so happy that the whole feeling of abundance and money coming in and cash flow is just like evolving every day, and I'm giving more and more and more air to it and energy to it. Okay. Now, what I discovered was that the purpose of money for me is to nurture my life, nurture my family's lives, and nurture lives of so many others. Okay. And this is what I discovered for myself. This is something I realized that I get the most kick when I would give extra tip to my household staff in Delhi. I would feel so good just looking at their expressions. I would feel so good buying something for them. And I was like, fuck, man, like sharing your money, sharing your wealth for somebody else's joy is the best thing in the world. That's how I found out this is the purpose of my money. Okay. For my nurturing of my life, what I discovered was I really wanted to be location independent. That means that if I pick my ass up today and decide, okay, I'm going to Italy to do this retreat, I'm going to Bali to live there for whatever, I'm in Bali right now, to live there for however long, or Australia, I want to be able to do that. At that time it felt like, oh, okay, it's such a big dream. No, cool, cool, cool. It's gonna feel like that for a while. That's all right. Because as you keep rewiring your mindset, you keep getting closer to your, I would say, what you want starts coming closer to you, you know. So that's the exact kind of reality I created. I was living in Delhi. I left Delhi, which was a very freaky move, because it was like a leap I was taking without a concrete foundation to have, like a place to land, and I was in Australia, I pampered myself and I queened myself. It's not a word, but I'm saying it, with the best of the best of the best properties that are out there. Okay. And then I came to Bali following my intuition. I was here just for a month, but then I have been here since 1 year. And I've been staying at the best properties. For me, that matters where I'm staying. I haven't bought clothes, I haven't bought shoes, anything. I haven't bought anything, Now I don't even spend that much money outside on outside food, cafes and restaurants, because main reason is because I want to be mindful of what I'm putting in my body. I have more control when my chef cooks it for me or I cook for myself. But also I saw that the value exchange was way lesser, you know. Um, I was like, I can put this money somewhere else. Like I can put this money. I get really amazing massage at my place every week. What else? Yeah, I'm going to Sri Lanka this month. And I was like, okay, let's again invest in a great stay. So I asked for it, I got it. But I got it only because I asked for it. Okay. When you know the purpose of your money, money will come to you. But if you're like, I want money, I want money, I want money, but I don't know what I want it for, when it comes, then I'll decide. Let it come first, then I'll decide. Since how long have you been doing that? I used to be doing that all the time and I was so stuck money wise, because I didn't have clarity. Now, if you think, oh, but then what if my goals change later? Let them change later. No, they will change later, by the way. They will change later because as you evolve, your goals evolve, but at least get clear of what you want your money for right now. Okay. So now it could be very generic, like for my family stability, financial stability. Okay. Start from there. Then write it down. What does that mean to you? What is that family financial stability? 1 lakh a month, 10 lakhs a month, 1 crore a month. What is that amount for you? Okay. Write that down. I wrote down what I wanted for my global living. And I set a goal of 10 lakhs just for my existence. And I was like, I don't need that. People used to tell me, but you don't need 10 lakhs per month. I was like, I want to give myself the best. Now my goal, my purpose of money has completely shifted. Now I want assets. I want to put all my money into assets. Okay. Like real estate, etc., etc., etc. And even teams, systems. That's where I want to put my money, because I know when I put my money there, it grows even more. In fact, I would say until beginning of this year, I would spend 60% of my money into my self development, and I've been putting money into self development, into getting coaching from private clients, private coaches, like to get like personal attention. I've been doing that since forever, and that is why I am in such an amazing rolling state, because I kept investing money in here. When your mindset is seriously sorted, every area of your life is seriously sorted. Okay. You got the context. Okay. I gave you really amazing, comprehensive context. Now go on and write down, what is the purpose of my money? And welcome back. How do you feel? Do you feel more complete in yourself? Do you feel like you discovered something about yourself that you always knew, but you somehow forgot over the time? Do you feel like, oh, apparently I have more skills and strengths than I thought I did? Okay. Just get present with your emotions and allow them to grow more and more and more. I can tell you, I can promise you, you are way more valuable than you think you are. And the more you tell yourself that, your mind will open up to see more value that already exists in you. So there's nothing wrong in going out and enhancing your skills. In fact, I would say do that. I do that on a daily basis. I'm obsessed with growth, and in a way that it's now like breathing. It's not that I have to be like, oh, I have to learn, I have to learn. It's like breathing. Okay. But at the same time, you are already an ocean. You have a lot of value to give. And what happens when you have value to give? You receive value as well. in form of money, connection, this and that, and this and that, that your mind might not even be able to think about it, but it comes. Why? Because you have that green flag in your hand. Yoo-hoo, I have value to give, right? Awesome. Now we're going to get into a visualization process. All right. So sit back and relax and totally let yourself surrender in the process. I will share one inner work with you, which you can practice at your own time, and it's gonna enhance this and put it into real action state. Okay, you're gonna be taking real actions. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Before that, we are coming up with Power Group. It's a program in which we will only and only work with 4 people who are fired up and who are creating something that means something to them, whether it is more business, new business, global life, more sales, a beautiful, healthy relationship, all of the above or more, whatever it is for you. You want to use the power that already resides in you so that you can channel it into creating more for yourself, and you are done doing it yourself at your pace, where one part of you which is convinced of the limitations keeps pulling you back and slowing you down. You're done with that, and you want to be in an ecosystem where you can use the power of your mind, which you already have, by the way, to achieve your goals much faster and in a way that is meaningful to you, whether that is ease, whether that is joy, whether that is creating more impact in the world, whatever that is. We design it in a way that you get everything that you want in your own way. Now, we have a qualification process for that. Hence, you will find the discovery call link in the description. It is free, but you got to fill some questions. We're going to screen that up, and then we're going to get on a call. And based on your answers in the form and the call, we will decide who gets in the program. Okay. So, now we're getting to the inner work that I had for you. It's amazing that your emotional state is now raised up. Now, I want you to channel that energy into inspired actions. Okay. So, there must be things that you really wanted to do, but you were sort of delaying or getting fearful that, oh, if I do this, then I might fail. I want you to start thinking of all those things and start making a list of them. Okay. For example, it can be as simple as putting out more content on social media. Now, the number of people I meet who say, oh, I really want to do it, but then I don't have the right equipment, I don't have the team. What if people see that and think that, oh, like, who do you think you are? Why are you being a coach, or why are you being the service provider, or why are you being an entrepreneur? You're not none of that, right? So they have the fear of being judged or rejected. Okay. It is as simple as that. And something as simple as that can also change your life. Okay. So I want you to write things that are risk taking to you. That doesn't mean that you will take all your money and invest that somewhere. That is not the only risk that you can take in your life. Risk of being seen and rejected. Risk of pitching something to someone, pitching an offer and being rejected. Okay, risk of putting something out there and it not being that great and not giving you results. All of that are also perceived risks by a mind. And I want you to make a list of those things, and I want you to start doing them on a very minute level, like 1%. 1%. What is the 1% of putting content out there? 1% of that is writing down something and taking a screenshot of that and putting that as a post on Instagram. Okay. Or maybe just writing something in my story, something as small as that. Because when you will see yourself having done something which was fearful to you and it didn't kill you, and you're like, it's not that bad. I can do it maybe one more time, one more time, one more time. And then you will get into this momentum when you won't even realize you would be putting out like full-fledged, properly produced content. Now, that may or may not be your standard. It doesn't even matter, to be honest. People are doing so much sales and they have such big audience while they are the ones recording and shooting without even any editing, right? So it doesn't matter. But the point being that we want you to be in momentum. How do you be in momentum? By only thinking of what is that 1% thing that I can do right now. And we're not asking you to try to overpower your fear of taking a risk. You'll be like, yeah, I know that there is risk, but I'm only doing 1%. I'm not like fully blowing going out there. It may sound like a contradictory advice that if you're dreaming big, shouldn't we like go out there full on and do it? If that was the case, you would have already been doing it. Our minds are not programmed in a way that we just think and swiftly jump into big actions. That happens when you have done that enough number of times in your life and you are a risk taker, and boom, you just go ahead with things. If that's not the case, start small, build momentum, and I promise you that that's going to create way, way, way more in your life, way more than you can even imagine, like beyond your wildest imagination. Cool. So I hope you got value out of this workshop. And please share what you got out of this workshop in the comments. That also allows me to take that feedback and create something even more valuable for you guys. And lastly, we have a free WhatsApp community where people engage a lot. I share a lot of amazing ideas for sales, mindset for wealth, how about my team. You definitely can use that at any time and get free live value. And people ask questions, I even answer them. So I'm going to see you very soon in another workshop. Mwah.